Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I am here today to talk about some popular books that I don't really like. They did not work for me. So it goes to say that as a disclaimer, I need to put this out because I don't think some people on the internet understand the fact that to each their own. You know, the opinions, the thing about opinions is that everybody can have their own different opinion about anything. That's so novel, right? So I just want to put it out there. If you find your favorites in this list, then please do not take it otherwise. It's not a personal attack. It's just my personal preference, and I'm telling you why I did not like the particular book, because we're circling back to the same thing again. To each their own. So without any further ado, let's get into this video and let me share with you the popular books that I did not like. Okay, I went to reach for my list, but I know what's first on this list because oh my god. This was a book that I read in 2019 and I did not like it at all, but it has been doing the rounds for a while now. And that was what actually made me pick this book up, okay? And I read it and I hated it. Hated it. Like, I'm not even saying I disliked it. I hated it with a vengeance. And I even made an hour-long rant video about it. The book that I'm talking about is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Oh my god, this book, it's not self-help. It cannot be classified as self-help in my opinion, because the author just talks down to the reader. See, if you're saying that you want to help the reader, then you need to be more compassionate. You can't say that your feelings are shit. You can't say that your feelings don't matter. You do not tell a grieving father that it's in his hands to stop grieving the loss of his son. That is the kind of thing that Mark Manson has said in this book. And it feels like, you know, the whole premise of this book is based on not giving a fuck. He tries to sound cool. He tries to sound all, oh, I'm so hip, I'm so with the times. That's what I felt. Don't take offense. It's my opinion. My god, I have to keep saying this throughout this video, it feels like. The second book on this list is a children's classic. Like, there are so many people who take this as a fairy tale. Maybe it is, you know, with the elements of magic in it. The book is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. But, no. You know, as adults, when you read children's books, sometimes you just need to keep the reasoning behind and dive into a children's book. But when some things become so blatant that you just can't become a child when you read a children's book, that means that the book is failing for you. What I found in Peter Pan was that the author was literally saying that it's okay to be misogynistic. It's okay to think that women are made only to take care of men and that they are only made to cook and clean the house. And if a woman can't do any of that, then she's useless. And you're teaching children that. And I don't know. It just sounds wrong to me on so many levels that I was like, popular media also has been telling us that, oh, I'm going to fly away like Peter Pan and all of that. I don't want to fly away like Peter Pan if I am going to imbibe any of his characteristics. Please, no. The next book is supposed to be a classic and one that I read in 2020 and I DNF'd in 2020 because I just couldn't get through it. And the book I'm talking about is To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. And I was supposed to buddy read it with Nandini. You know Nandini by now. And I couldn't. She couldn't, I couldn't, but she did go and finish it towards the end of 2020. And I'm like, please don't ask me to finish it. Please don't ask me to read it again, because I just found that the book is full of some fancy ramblings with no sense whatsoever. There's continuity. There's no delineation between thoughts. There's no a clear demarcation between what she's thinking about, what exactly she is talking about. I mean, I know that it could be some sort of an allegorical, metaphorical novel or something, and I don't know if it is because I didn't get through many pages. By the 5th chapter, I was like, oh, no, not for me. It's a book that I don't think I will ever pick up ever again, but I can't really be sure because maybe when I'm in my 60s or 70s, I hope I don't live as long as that, but maybe then I'll be like, okay, let's give Old Wolf another chance. Who knows what's going to happen. Woohoo! Next book is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and this was one of my most anticipated reads of 2020, and where did it go? Down. I even made a full rant review of this book. If you'd like to go check that out, I'll leave the link here as well as in the description box below. I've ranted and ranted in that video. It's like 20 minutes long. But that book, it was supposed to be beautiful for me, but I did not find it to be beautiful for the whole book, for the entirety of the book. For half the book, I was like, Erin Morgenstern is a genius, she writes so beautifully. But then later on, because of how convoluted the plot became, I was like, her writing is not helping. It's not, where am I making that connection? Why is Zachary Ezra Rollins, who I remember the name of for some miraculous reason, why is he doing the things that he is doing? How did he fall in love? What is the Starless Sea? Where is he pulling these things out from? What is this library doing? Where are you going underground? Where are you emerging from? And I was like, it was on the 20 books I want to read in 2020 list, and one of the books that I was so excited for. I even went to DNF it, but I did not. I stayed through to the very end. I saw it to the very end, and what did I find? Disappointment. And I know that the Starless Sea, it usually gets some, really mixed reviews. A lot of people have agreed with me, but a lot of people get really salty when I say that I did not like that book. They were like, you are not an intellectual for not understanding this book. You didn't understand this book, that's why you didn't like this book. Oh, hello. Enough. If you go and watch that video, if you go and see the comments on that video, you will see what I'm talking about. I lost my mind when I actually lose my mind when people say that. Like, you are an idiot, that's why you did not like this book. You did not understand this book, that's why you did not like it. You are supposed to be an intellectual, but no, you're not, because you did not understand this book. Bye. See, number 5 on this list is An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. And let me tell you this, I see why people love this book. I see that. The reason why I did not love this book is because it did not appeal to me, and I sometimes don't like it when unlikable characters do so much shit and they don't get their comeuppance. So I'm that sort of person that by the end, something has to happen to show that the world isn't as shitty as it is. I mean, we can't do anything about it on a greater level, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? But the guy in this book, Roy, is such a horrible person on so many levels, and that's the only thing I remember about this book also. But you know what? Roy underwent a lot of shit. He was accused wrongly of doing things that he didn't do, and he was sent to prison, and I can understand why his mind would become the way it did and why he became the person he did and how he did. But I don't know, it just did not feel right to me on some level. And to see him so unreasonable in a lot of places, I mean, what the female main character did was also wrong on a certain level, maybe on a moral level, but I feel like the balance, it tipped in the female main character's favor, and I just felt that Roy was a big no-no for me. But I can see the appeal that this book holds. I can see the rawness, I can see the pride with which the author has written this story. I can see all of it, but I just don't see it working for me, and I did not expect that it wouldn't work for me. Who does? Oh ho ho, next is a super 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 popular book author in literary circles. Huh. Where do I even start? There are two books by this author that I did not like at all, and the author is Margaret Atwood, and the books are The Handmaid's Tale and The Blind Assassin. Please don't kill me for this. This is just my opinion. I feel like Atwood's writing is not for me. Her writing feels very disconnected. It feels like she is putting the burden of connecting the sentences, connecting the story on the reader's shoulders, and I am not a fan of that kind of storytelling. You know, I had Surfacing on my TBR. I bought it on a whim. I bought a Kindle ebook, but then after I read all of this, it was so frustrating, it was so tiring, it leached all of my energy, and I'm like, no man, I can't put myself through another one of her books, because if it's not working for me, it doesn't make sense for me to go and read it. The Blind Assassin was the first book by Atwood that I read, and I was I gave it 2 stars. I think I read this in 2018 and I was not a fan. It was just disconnected sentences, and she's trying to say something but you can't process what's going on because there's so much to unpack. And then I went into The Handmaid's Tale with so many hopes because so many people love that book and they're such huge fans, and I was like, I get the concept. I like the concept of how the author has written it in a dystopian world. She set it all and all of that. And the only thing that kept me going was that, okay, what's going to happen now? That tiny bit of suspense that you have in any particular book, that was what kept me going. And the end sort of intrigued me, which is why I picked up Testaments, and I'm glad for that. I did like the Testaments. Maybe it is because, you know, with times she has changed her style of writing, because that happens. Writing styles evolve. But to go back to her older works, that's never going to happen because, oh my god, no. I can't put myself through that again, and it's not fair to the author as well. If I'm not liking her, I'd better not read her works anymore. So if I've offended any Atwood fans, I'm sorry, but please go back to the disclaimer at the very beginning. Please. Next up is an Indian author, and that author is R.K. Narayan. The book is The Painter of Science, and both the characters in this book, the main characters, are such I cannot find another word for what those two are. The whole thing is misogynistic, it is super sexist, and I just felt so angry while I was reading this. I couldn't believe that this was R.K. Narayan, but maybe it was because of the time period that it was written in, it was set in. Is that even a proper excuse? Is that a valid excuse? I don't know, and I don't want to take it as an excuse, maybe, because when you are writing something that is ahead of its times, that's when you become an author who is amazing, who has a number of fans or something. Not that R.K. Narayan doesn't have any fans. He has a ton of fans, especially because of his Malgudi days and Swami and Friends and all of that. But this, oh my god, no man. I was so angry. So I would never recommend The Painter of Science to anyone. I mean, it is quite a popular one, I feel, because it's R.K. Narayan. Even though, you know, not a lot of people talk about it. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, especially in the literary circles that I move around. Booktube and Bookstagram and all of that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Next is a widely loved British book series, and that is the Bridget Jones series by Helen Fielding. I don't even know what I should say for this one, because I read the first book. I was not a huge fan, but it was like, okay, it's a fast-paced read, you can get through it pretty soon and all of that. And the second one I did like. I mean, I was not like, oh, I'm a fan and all of that, but I did like. But the third one went back. And the whole series feels very shallow to me. I mean, it's not that literature has to be deep and it has to make you think and all of that. It was pointless. I mean, there has to be some kind of a story going over there. And Bridget Jones is like, oh, I like this boy. No. Maybe I like this boy. Maybe she's entitled to her to and fro, going back and forth, but little bit, no. Okay, you do your thing, I'm going to do mine, and I'm going to read other books. Thanks. The next book on this list is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. If you don't know, A.J. Finn is a pseudonym. The guy's name is Daniel Mallory, and he is a sort of person not with a good reputation. He has been known to lie outright in many of his public appearances, in the speeches, author speeches that he gives. But that's beside the point. That's not the problem I had with the book. This came out way after I read the book. This was, I think, in 2018. And the book, it's supposed to be a psychological thriller kind of thing with an unreliable narrator. It's written in first person, and she has agoraphobia, the main character. But I felt that maybe the way the book was written was a reflection of how the narrator thought, how the main character thought. But then again, it was in bits and pieces. It was not written continuously. There's no continuity to the book, and I felt that somewhere the essence was lost because of that. That was then, like, it was a completely different event. But then I found out that this guy has been lying about a lot of things, and I was like, that even, made me feel like, okay, no man, this even lessens my liking for the book. For some reason, like, I'm not able to separate the art from the artist and all that, because I did not like the art, and what the artist is doing, that also I did not like. So how do I separate it? Can't. The last book on this list, and oh my god, I feel like I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but the book is My Experiments with Truth by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, who, as he's called, the father of the Indian nation. And there is so much hypocrisy. There's no other word for it. And I'm not even talking in the sense of, political weight that it has in these times. No. I'm just talking about what is very obvious over there. Like, he is telling one thing in one page and the completely opposite thing in another page when it comes to a different set of people. And when he says something, he is like, yeah, everybody must do this because it is useful, like this, like this, like this. And he makes people do it. People follow him. I mean, he's a personality, so people do follow him. But then 30 pages down the line, he is like, no, this is wrong. And everybody must stop doing this because it's harmful. Because I think it's not right at this moment. And I'm like, bro, hold on, please, what did you just say? Hello. 2 and 2 make 5 for you, and I was so annoyed with the book. Like, is that considered to be where the bar has been set for India? Hypocrisy. Anyway, so those were the 10 popular books that I really don't like. They don't work for me. What did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Which of these books did you read and did you like? Which of these did you read and did not like? Which of these are on your TBR? Which popular book don't you like? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.